All right, good evening, good evening. Give us a second for you guys to come on. It is Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's time for us to pop up with a candidate or a guest to talk to. And tonight, y'all, I get the privilege of talking to one of my favorite people, one of the most heroic women in our city, in our state, that is always making change for the better of people. She's not a normal district attorney. She cares and she's about her business, just like her little brother, Danny Carr. They really do care about people. And so if you're watching now, you should already know who she is. This is District Attorney for the Bessemer Cutoff, Miss Lanice Washington.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, my friend?
Good, good, good. Listen, so before we get into all these questions,
Okay.
how is everything in the Bessemer division right now? How is life going court-wise?
Court-wise, we're having trials. We just opened back up to trials back in August of last year since COVID.
Wow.
However, I had continuously had grand jury, but in terms of jury trials, our judges just started having trials August of last year, and we are busy.
Okay.
We are busy.
So people ask me all the time, what's the difference between Birmingham division and Bessemer division? What's the difference for those that don't know?
Well, the state of Alabama is probably the only state that has two divisions. One county with two divisions.
Wow.
You have the Birmingham division, and then you have Jefferson County Bessemer Cutoff division. All that happened a long time ago. But what comprises the Bessemer Cutoff is, I'll just start in this area, small part of Inslee to Fairfield to Midfield, Brighton, Lipscomb to Bessemer. You got Hueytown, Pleasant Grove, Hoover. You have the Hoover area, Lake Cyrus, Ross Bridge, Lake Crest. The subdivisions on Stadium Trace, that area on John Hawkins Parkway.
Okay.
So I have a vast area: Dolomite, Roosevelt City, Mulga.
Right. Wow. That's a lot.
Edgewater,
Wow.
Adger, Concord,
When do you
Sylvan
sleep?
Springs.
Do you sleep?
As soon as my head hit the pillow.
Oh, okay, okay. Now you talked about you still doing grand jury,
Yes.
even during COVID. But let's talk about, or rather, I should ask, did your office work with the jail systems or with municipalities during COVID to make sure contact was spread? And like, how did that work? How did the office still run during COVID?
Well, we didn't really deal with the municipalities. They
Okay.
handled their own.
Gotcha.
With their city attorney and their chief of police. What we did with the county jail in the Bessemer Cutoff area, because we have Jefferson County Jail, we have one in the Birmingham division and one in the Bessemer Cutoff division. So what we were doing is working with the jail to try and we didn't want we didn't want COVID to spread to anyone, not the employers, employees, and nor the inmates.
Gotcha.
Because once it's inside, it spreads out because everyone have families.
Right.
So as much as we could and as fast as we could, we were working with the defense attorneys to try and come up with an agreement so that the persons who were in jail could be released.
Okay. Wow. You've been doing a lot since getting elected, and even before. But what year did you get elected? Because it seems like you've been in office for a long time there. You've been doing a lot.
Well, in 2016, that was the election.
Okay.
I actually stepped foot in office, and all of us who won in 2016, we didn't step foot in office until January of 2017. Okay. And prior to then, I was judge for the city of Bessemer. I had also worked as an appellate prosecutor for the city of Irondale. I was one of the rotating hearing officers for Jefferson County Personnel Board.
Wow.
And then I had my practice on Fifth Avenue with my buddy James Stewart.
Wow.
Well, we didn't have a joint practice. I was just renting space. Yes.
I got you. So, but you've been doing stuff way before, like you listing off all these things, and it seemed like you were already being district attorney even before you got in office, right? Because you were already working with families, victims of.
When I was on the
stuff?
bench for the city of Bessemer, you know, I looked at municipal court as one of those places that sometimes that is the first contact that people have with the court system.
Absolutely.
So the best thing to do is to try to defer them and put them on the right track. And so people just thought it was just an assembly line. You come in, they read your charge, you plead guilty, not guilty, you plead guilty, pay a fine, not guilty, you have a trial or a set for trial, and your attorney and the prosecutor sit and they come with the agreement. So no.
Yeah.
No. So, but I brought in programs. I started working with the Dannon Project. And that was they were very visible during the time I was with the city of Bessemer on the bench.
Absolutely.
And also we did the first amnesty court when I was with the city of Bessemer, municipal court. We did an amnesty court and we called it Operation Clean Slate.
Wow. So for people that don't know what amnesty court is, what is that? Like how does that work?
That is to excuse someone from, like in this case, there were a lot of people with warrants that had been on the shelf for years.
Wow.
And they would never clear, it could have been a $70, $80 some ticket, but when you didn't come to court the first time, it's a $500 failure to appear. And then if they set it again and you don't come, that's another $500. So it just mounted up to just a crazy amount. And so there were so many people without driver's license, so many people that could not just handle regular business because of those warrants. Because if you walk into the Alabama Department of Transportation or Department of Revenue to get your license or your tag, you will be arrested. So yeah, so that gave people a clean slate.
Okay.
A second chance.
Okay. I like that. I like that. What are some of the things, what is primarily the job of the DA for court systems? Like a lot of people say they figure that like you're like being a judge or something. Most people, they don't know the system of the court. What is the day-to-day operation of a district attorney?
Are you asking day-to-day operation or are you just asking about the court system?
Well, I guess both. Let's do both. So what's the day-to-day operations of a DA?
It can go from visiting a crime scene to a meeting with Jefferson County Commission to something within the office to, there's a broad slate when you're talking about day to day of a district attorney. There was a time that district attorneys were valued at the amount of people that they convicted and put into prison, and sentenced them to prison. But now we saw that did not work in our community. So what I focus on, I administer my office on a 3-pronged mission. That is public safety, maintaining the public's trust, and as well as empowering our young people for the future.
Wow.
So, and that's a broad umbrella, but every day I try to do something toward those goals.
A lot of people may not know this, but you're the first African-American woman to sit as a district attorney in the Bessemer Cutoff, or just in Jefferson County alone, right?
In Alabama.
In Alabama?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I was the first Black woman to be elected district attorney in the state of Alabama in 2016. But that does not define a person. A title itself does not define. It's just a start of what people expect from you.
Absolutely.
There are some people that become the first and just hold that title and do nothing with it. But I take it to be something of a great honor to be the first, and it takes a lot to pave their way too. But I have truly enjoyed serving this community.
So I'm gonna get off the politics for just a second, or the job, because I got to tell you, and I don't think I've ever told you, I want to thank you, because you being a breast cancer survivor, you got me through when I lost not one but 2 aunts to breast cancer.
Oh wow! And
so seeing you day to day working and working in the community, and days that you may have been tired, and is a struggle, but seeing you made me know that the works that both of my aunts did in the community and the things that they were doing. One was living here, and the other was living in Georgia. Your work speaks for itself, but your strength is even more powerful. So I just got to thank you for your strength, because
Thank you.
I don't think people realize you wear a lot of hats, but you are a survivor of everything you've ever accomplished out to do. Like
2 words, but God.
Yeah.
But God.
Only because of him.
Only
Listen,
because of him.
you are a wife, you're a mother, you're a hardworking businesswoman. I've been told that when people see you in the courtroom, they know there's some real work about to happen. Right? Like, I've been told this, and I've been told by a few judges, like, they've been looking like, okay, she's in here today, let's be good. Like, I've been told that. So I know that you handle your office with professionalism,
Yes.
and dignity. I guess, what made you want to run for DA?
Is the service, to be a servant. I've always had a servant's heart, and I am the elected DA for the very same office that I served as an assistant DA. So my time there, I learned so much. Boy, did I learn so much. And even then, I took opportunities to go whenever they needed someone to go to the schools and represent the office. I was always one, I'll go,
Right.
So I've always been a public servant. I've had a servant's heart. And even from sitting on the bench with the city of Bessemer to now, it's about being in a position to make positive change in the lives of others.
Absolutely.
And also to be a vessel and an example of what God wants us to be.
A lot of people, don't understand why you do the things you do as a DA, but there's a lot of things that weigh out. Like, you're like a scientist. You really map out things before you make orders and before you do things and before you press charges. So I'm in awe. I don't get an opportunity as much as I want to come and harass you in Bessemer. But
Well, come on, the door is open. We'll keep the light on for you.
People just don't understand. Like, you leave the politics at home and you come to work. And that's what I love about you. Like, anytime I see you and Danny, I'm like, man, you're my superheroes right there. Y'all are keeping our city and our county safe.
We deal with real people. We deal with real hurting people. As prosecutors, we are the voice for the victims. And also, as far as the defendants, we make sure that the defendants' rights are protected and that everything is kept fair and balanced. It shouldn't be one side. Lady Justice should always remain blind.
You've had an opportunity to speak, as you said earlier, to the students and go places. We got new voters happening soon. How many voters are in the Bessemer cutoff right now? Because I've lost count.
Let's see, there are about over 82,000, I think.
Wow.
I think it's over 82,000.
I
Maybe
lost
more
count.
than that.
But that's a lot of people.
We're just talking about voters.
Right, we're just talking about voters.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that count on you to do the work that you do because they want to come back out and vote for you again.
Well, I certainly want them to come back out.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah. And the new voters, we have to take, and I always say, we're not doing a service if we gain new voters, but we don't make sure that they get to the poll.
Wow.
Because at the end, when the numbers are counted at the end of the election, the new voters are counted in that number. And if you get all of these people to sign up and be new voters and they never exercise their right to vote, that's not helpful to the numbers in terms of voters.
So in this time around, you have a primary and then you have a general. How can people get a part of helping you? Because it takes a lot to make these campaigns happen. So how do people connect? How do people get a part of your campaign?
Well, this is my push card, and there is a website address on there. is DALaniceWashington.com.
Okay.
You can always show support in getting a sign.
Right.
Putting a sign in your yard. Now, there have been some incidents where people have gone on the property of individuals and either have defaced my sign or just knocked it down.
Wow.
Yeah, but
People that bought?
yeah, but you know what? I let them have that.
I got you.
I let them have that. That's just not me.
I got you.
It's not me. But if you want a sign to show support, thank you. You can either call the office 205-497-8610 and ask for me, or you can call 205-774-8333. If no one answers, leave a message and we'll get back with you within 24 hours.
Yeah, her campaign office is a beast. Like, her husband is always out putting out signs. I like messing with Jude. Jude Washington is her husband. If anybody's on Facebook, you know who he is. He don't play about his wife. He's always like strategically thinking about what signs goes or
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
So
And he
he's
gets
been-
upset when people mess with the sign.
Listen, y'all, stop messing with because I get the blunt of it. He calls me.
He gets upset.
So please stop touching the sign.
And signs don't vote. Signs don't vote. People vote. I guess the game is to make candidates spend money. I'm not sure, but signs don't vote. And I just would appreciate if you would leave the signs alone.
All right, y'all leave the sign alone. Well, I'm going to do something that I rarely do, and I only do it for people that I really, really believe in and trust. So I'm publicly telling y'all I endorse and support Lanice Washington for re-election in the Bessemer Cutoff Division. If you don't know by now, I love me some Lanice Washington. And so this is my friend. I support her re-election. And I just believe if it ain't broken, why try to fix something?
Well, you know, Josh, we've implemented so many programs
Right.
During my administration, even during the first year. In April of 2017, we started the Candlelight Vigil. April of every year is National Crime Victims Awareness Week.
Wow.
And so what we started doing is those people who have lost their loved ones to gun violence or some type of violence, domestic violence or whatever it may be, we invite them to come to a program where we have resources about healthy relationships and about those topics that help them to make better decisions. And then we call out the names of those loved ones of the people who are present that lost their lives. And it's so impactful because we get the bail from the fire department. They always let us borrow their bail, and you can hear a pin drop. People come in with their loved ones' T-shirts on, their buttons, and they're waiting there silently until they hear their loved one name called, and we told the bail. And it's just a moving experience. And at the end, we release white balloons, because the thing is, there's nothing we can do about that loved one that's now gone. But we can empower the family members, that daughter, that mother, that father, that sister, that brother, empower them so that they can make better choices, and empower them to help them get through. And in fact, we just started a homicide support group.
Really?
Yeah. It is done every third Thursday at Reverend Blank's church. He is a awesome community partner at Perfect Reconciliation Church. And it's not been going on that long. I think this is like the third month. But it allowed people who have lost their loved ones to violence to come together and just express and just release. It's very therapeutic, and it has been a great thing for this community.
Wow. So you really, your job don't stop in the courtroom.
Oh, no. And we, in fact, during COVID, and another great community partner is my pastor, Thomas J. Rogers. And he allowed me to do a vaccination drive-through at the church, at New Bethlehem Baptist Church. And so we partnered with Cahaba Medical, and they provided the vaccines and people just drove through. They didn't have to get out of their vehicles. We gave, chips and all of that. They waited for 15 minutes. And while they were waiting, we had other resources there. We had information about Head Start and at that time about rent, to help people, rent assistance. So there were a lot of other things going on while people were waiting those few minutes to make sure that they were okay. So that is outside of
the corporate reviews, like you really in the community.
Yeah, but that goes under maintaining the community trust. So as I said, everything that I do promoting public safety. I started Operation Python. When I got into office, there were certain areas that was just overrun with crime, and they were underserved with police presence. So talked with Marshal Marty Keeley, and he was able to get a federal grant in order to get a multi-agency team. We all collaborated together, DEA, ATF, FBI, Sheriff's Department, the Max Center for Intelligence, and for 3 months, we went out, I'll just say they went out. I went out one morning at 5 a.m. and by 11:30, I was done. But in those 3 months, there were 126 arrests. Wow. We got guns, drugs off the streets, and that was a good thing. That was a good thing for the community. And it took the collaboration of the various agencies working together to do that. Wow. And that was in 2017 and then, or 2018, 2018, right. I'm sorry. And we did it again last year. Wow. So promoting public safety.
I'm wondering, like when that mother gets to sit on her porch and she gets to watch her kids play, do they realize the work goes into keeping that neighborhood safe or that community? And you really you dive right into that.
Yes.
So that's important.
Yeah, because there are communities where people live where they're what we call home houses, and they don't have the ability to move, and they shouldn't have to move in order to be safe and to have peace. So your zip code should not determine the safetyness of your community, of your neighborhood. So I swore and I promised everyone when I got sworn in that I would continue to make them proud. And I hopefully all of the work that I've done just that. And would love if you would come back and vote for me on May 24th.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick before we get off of here. All this is all her accomplishments. I usually don't show y'all my cheat sheets, but this is a lot of things. Yeah. This is a lot. I'm still trying to figure out, do you sleep?
And there are a couple of things that were like the homicide support group, and we also just started the Jefferson County Community Food Box, and we do that on the second Friday of every month across the street at the DHR building in Bessemer. Wow. So that is, they were doing it in Birmingham at Family Court. Okay. And it's kind of like a resource center. Grace Klein is a great partner. See, you cannot be effective without having partners. That's right. You can't do it by yourself, but Grace Klein is a great partner, and they would come with food boxes. People line up, and it actually every month from 1 until 3 at the parking lot across the street from DHR. You can line up and you just go through. You don't have to pre-register and get a food box. And there are other resources out there. We have Lawson State, Jeff State. We have Ross Recovery, Drug Recovery, all kinds of information. If you want vaccination boosters, you can do that at that time. But it's all about bringing resources to the Bessemer cutoff and letting people know that Jefferson County, that the cutoff is inclusive of Jefferson County.
I just want y'all to just hear some of these accomplishments real quick. Operation Python, she just got through talking about cold case unit, County Light Vision, she talked about that DUI pretrial division, victim service unit, West Jefferson Hi-Fi, West Jefferson Second Chances Hiring Fair.
HFI, West Jefferson
HFI, my bad, y'all.
Helping Families Initiative.
Bessemer Cutoff Public Safety Information Forum, vaccination drive, the Conviction Integrity Unit, second two-time recipient of the DOJ Safety Neighborhood Grant. That's because of all the work that she's doing in the community and not stopping. And it's, you do it where I know for a fact that there's been some stuff you've done. There's been no cameras around.
Right.
There's been no video records, no pictures, but there's been testimonies from people. Like, hey, I have a friend of mine. She moved to Bessemer. And I think she actually was recipient of one of the food boxes.
Okay.
And she was like, I didn't know if I had to take my ID or whatever. They just gave me what I need. So it speaks volumes when you can literally say you care about your neighbors.
And I enjoy being out there. Actually, I like being out there, just waving and interacting with the community. It's near and dear to me. I love what I do.
Well, y'all, that's the DA right there for the Bessemer Division, Ms. Lanice Washington. I am gonna call her out real quick because her staff was supposed to give me a shirt. I ain't got a shirt yet for the DA's office. Like it could be one of them little, nothing, one of her staff was supposed to take pictures with me. All these people that be doing stuff.
But he said that was my staff. It wasn't me. But let me
tell y'all what I have with her is that she has not yet taken a vacation. So although I need y'all to reelect her, please reelect her, but please encourage her to take her vacation because she has amazing staff in her building and they work without you being there. Like, it's like, because
they know my vision. They know my vision, and it is important whenever you have an office that you have people that reflect your vision and reflect the person that you are.
Absolutely. Real quickly before we go, your little brother in Birmingham here.
Yes.
How do y'all work so well? Because a lot of people, I've seen where people try to pin y'all against each other, but you guys work so well together. And connection. How does that work? What does that teamwork look like?
Before there was a district attorney, Lanice Washington, before there was a district attorney, Danny Carr, there was Lanice Washington and Danny Carr. And we knew each other way before both of us became district attorneys, and we are intertwined in each other's lives personally. He's been to my home. I go to his home, his mom. She thinks Jude is her son, and she just keeps Danny and I to the curb.
I heard Jude get food. Jude, you need to share.
Yeah, he get treated like a king. But Danny is sincerely a good-hearted guy.
Yeah.
I love him because he's not pretentious. He is who he is. And that's one thing I just love about my little brother. And he has a very solid foundation from his family. If you don't know the history of Danny Carr and his granddad and things that his granddad contributed to Inslee, to the Inslee area, and passed that on to Miss Regina, and I love her to death. So we're family, and no one can come.
Listen, she refers to her as her daughter. Whenever I'm like talking about, don't no, my daughter's name is District Attorney. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm gonna give you a second. Talk to the people. Remind them why they need to vote for you on May 24th, and then get them ready for November.
Okay. Well, please vote for me on May 24th because of, my mother always told me actions speak a whole lot better and louder than words. So I let the life that I live speak for me. So the different things that Josh Raby just called out, my friend just called out, I implement different programs because I love my community. I want to see our young people progress. I want them to see value in themselves. I want our community safe. I want our police officers. I'm married to law enforcement. I want the law enforcement to be safe. And we have to have trust between law enforcement and the community. I am that person to enforce all of that, to try and pull it together. I love what I do. I love being a public servant. I love being district attorney for Jefferson County, Bessemer Cutoff. And if anybody tells you anything negative or period, just do your research. There are a lot of candidates that are out there that are running this time. And I implore everyone who's listening to research your candidate. Don't go by what someone else tells you. Research your candidate. On my Facebook page is public. I don't block anybody. I don't care what you say. I don't block anyone.
Right.
My husband, there was a case where somebody was trying to basically say some bad things about my office regarding the case, and I told him I don't handle court on social media, and I didn't block him. And Jude got mad. Why don't you block that guy? No, I'm not going to block him. So let him come on through. Let people see who you are. But I'm going to continue to work. The more people push me to the left, the more I'm going to move to the right and continue and move forward.
Right. I love that. So in case you missed it, I'm publicly endorsing and supporting Miss District Attorney Lanice Washington, Bessemer Cutoff Division. She didn't ask me. Ain't no checks been given out.
It's in the mail, right?
It's in the mail. Right. It's in the mail. Ain't no checks been given, but there is accountability that has been given. And I think I told her when she first ran the last time, the first time I told her, I said, hey, we're watching. And I see the work that she does. And people see the work that you do. Most people may not like what you do, but it's a tough job. People don't understand until you get to you're in those shoes or in that seat. You don't realize the chaotics, the hells, the things that happen. So you got to kind of frustrate. It's like a lot of people ask me about my youth affairs chair, and they'd be like, well, what do you do? You have no idea. Days I want to scream at leadership, but we keep moving forward.
Yeah, keep moving. But a lot of times people, when they run against someone else, it's not the person that they hate. They hate the things that they're doing. They hate the person they're fighting that person inside of the good things that they do in the community.
Absolutely. So, May 24th, May 24th, vote for Lanice Washington. Y'all keep thinking this election cycle this year has really thrown me off on when elections are. May 24th is election day. I actually vote for
May 9th is the deadline for voter registration. So please, those of you who have not registered to vote, please vote by May 9th and then actually go out and vote on May 24th. Yeah. That's most important. Yeah. If you want to do an absentee ballot, May 17th is the last day that you can mail your absentee application in order to receive an absentee ballot. So
get
please.
that. And then you told us what's happening this month. There's something that happens in the month of.
Well, Friday, the Bessemer Concerned Citizens, they're having their banquet at the Bessemer Citizens.
Yeah, I'll be at that, but there's something that your office does. Is it when is the victims?
It's going to be April 28th.
It's April 28th.
April 28th. That entire week is National Crime Victims Awareness Week. If I'm not mistaken, I think
is it the first week or where is it? Is it like the first week?
I just wait to
you just
look
be
on
like
the website and they send me a notice and like this is the week. But yeah, it's this time. It's that week of the 28th. The 28th is a Thursday, so it usually start that Sunday and run all the way through the week.
Okay.
And so our candlelight vigil will be on the 28th, which is a Thursday, and it's going to be at Perfecting Reconciliation Church, Reverend Blank. So thank you again, Reverend Blanks, for being such a great, wonderful community partner.
All right, cool, y'all. I'm getting messages from folks trying to make sure that I don't keep her alone. Listen, get out, go vote. Your voice, it needs to be heard.
Your voice is your vote.
So please make sure you go vote. If you're in the Birmingham division or the Bessemer division, get out and go vote. You don't have to vote for her now, but Birmingham does vote for you in November, right? Mm-hmm. It's still just Bessemer?
It's Bessemer Cutoff.
See, y'all confusing me. I got to go back to math
state
classes.
legislature. Go get
Okay, we're going to leave them alone. Yeah. So y'all go vote for her.
I got to build out.
Support. Y'all support her. Please go support her, be a part of her campaign. And I said, donate to her campaign. Yes. And after you donate to her, go donate to Motives with the Motivated podcast because we got bills to pay around here, y'all. Lights cost. But thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. For those that will watch this later on, leave comments on the comment box and I'll make sure she gets those. If you got questions, if you want a yard sign, go to the website or call me. I'll make sure your signs get there. Yes. I know the hubby. He'll drop it in your yard. All right. So listen, remember this, all you need is one motivation. You're that one connection that'll make everything happen and make some things happen. If you're watching and you're in your car, you're heading and you're in Birmingham, I'm heading to the Crossplex for the City of Birmingham redistricting meeting, and then I'm going to give me some meat at Applebee's. So you come by and join with me and talk. Until then, y'all stay encouraged, stay positive, stay motivated. Vote Lanice Washington, Investment Cutoff.
God bless
Yeah,
you. Bye-bye.